Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tabletop Bob. As you know, this is Bob, and this is the state of the. Well, I shouldn't call it the state of the channel. I made a mistake. I've been actually calling it state of the channel, but it really is a channel update, not necessarily state of the channel. State of the channel is we do it in January. That's like the State of the Union address, like the president would give. So kind of like just an update, just a quick summer update. What's funny now is I never really did a lot of these live streams where it's just talking. Um, but I'm noticing my internet has been quite bad today. So let me know if you can even see me. I'll be maybe going on my phone or something like that. See if it's affecting everything. But it's been weird. Like I do a speed run, and normally my internet's great. Like I have Verizon FiOS. It's been like very fast, very dependable. But a couple months ago, I got a new wireless router that it's not sorry a wired router that I use down here in the basement. It was just like an update basically. They were like, hey, it's been a few years. Here's a new one, and it messed up. It even messed up a Curse of Strahd stream a few months ago, if you remember back. And now it's having some internet issues with like I think it's the upload speed, which I don't know exactly. I'm not Although I do all this stuff and I do it all by myself, I have kind of just learned as I go. So I don't know how any of this stuff actually works. I just pray to the computer gods that it's good. But I'll be checking on my phone for comments because even like as I'm talking to you right now, I just noticed my YouTube is lagging and not loading. So I'm gonna go on YouTube and see if it's actually working here. Let me see here. But you all hear me pretty good? I think I see people saying it's good. Sweet. Dasha's here. Hey, what's up, Dasha? And I see we've got Chris from Long Island. Long time no see, Chris. I mean, we chat every now and then off, but it's good to see you here. Greyhawk Exile, always a pleasure. We got Steve in the chat. Steve, pause, in the chat, not Steven. Steve in the chat. Love it. Yeah, I'm seeing it on my phone. It looks like it's pretty stable, but just a weird thing that like literally I'm looking at my YouTube and it's in this circle. It's just like buffering. So interesting. Yeah, so good. Maybe it is just more of a me getting stuff than me putting stuff out there issue. So welcome. Burger's in the chat. Look at that. And I love it, Burger. Showcasing the member star, the emojis. Love it. We got a lot of members now, actually. James from Kansas City's here. What's up, James? Godwin. Actually, this is actually something I really love because I never get a chance to like fully just like dedicate my eyes to the chat. And now I can. And this is such a different, like there are streamers that do stuff like this all the time. It's just like just chatting, right, on Twitch or YouTube in this case. But I never get to just chat. So it's fun to do that sometimes. Let me know what you're all up to. What are you all up to tonight? This hot summer day, or I guess not summer yet, June day. While you're letting me know what you've been up to, I will let you know what I've been up to. So let's start with the pressing matters. Number one, my birthday is tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it. Ever since Juneteenth got the holiday, it's been so nice to have my birthday always permanently off. Normally, could be the end of the school year. We've got meetings, things like that, and it's nice to have the day. And of course, the actual true meaning of the holiday. But birthday tomorrow, I'll be 37 years young. Age is just a number. So, but with getting old, there comes some issues. I unfortunately have suffered a rather annoying injury. I was playing basketball and landed the wrong way, and I tore my ACL and my meniscus. So I'm going to have to do surgery, and that's going to be really annoying. So, birthday present, not what I was expecting. So, yeah, I mean, if anybody's felt this injury or had this injury before, ACL is the one you need to repair or reconstruct or whatever. It's gone. It's bad. Not good. So, I've been hobbling around. In fact, I didn't mention it during the streams last week, but I heard it back last Friday. So did all the doctors, the MRI, all that stuff, and it's unfortunate, but right at the start of summer too. Mm, you all know how much we teachers love our summer, and now gonna be a long road here. But honestly, the one thing that's good about it is that, well, I shouldn't say good about it. There's nothing really good about it, but one of the positives to it is that it won't really affect things too much. I don't have a job where I rely on physical labor. I don't. I'm not an athlete where it's going to take me away from a sport or a season or something like that. I do play sports, but just for fun, whatever. Golf is really probably the only sport that I play somewhat. Well, I wouldn't say regularly. I don't play too often, but that's the one sport that I still like keep doing from when I was younger. But I missed out now on golf. We didn't do our Father's Day golf, which is normally what I do every year. Um, I won't be playing golf this summer. Won't be going to the beach, things like that. But it won't affect my day to day, which is good. Working at camp or working at school, because I'm just usually in a classroom, walking around, or most of the time sitting. Right, the camp I run at is a gaming camp, or I shouldn't say gaming camp. It's not a gaming camp; it's a tech camp, or STEM, whatever. But I do gaming classes, so it's mostly playing D&D and Warhammer and Pokemon and Magic and things like that. So it's not going to affect me all that much in my day to day. What's up, Christian? Oh, look at this. We got Stefano here in the chat too. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the comments here. Yeah, the ACL. It's what I've heard is that you really can't do much for the first few weeks at all after the surgery, and then you can't really resume any like physical activity for like 9 months. And like I don't know, a lot of physical therapy, I'm sure, but um, I think this is like pretty standard injury sort of stuff. So should be I should be fine. Um, Best thing is it won't affect us being on stream, right? Like I can still do this. I got my cast or my brace over here, but you know, it is what it is. Ultimately, we can still play some D&D. Let's see. Let me check these chats here. Yeah, Jay Tyler, do I read a lot? I feel like I'm always reading. I read. I mean, I teach. I teach and we read for my language arts classes. So I read a lot, but it's mostly books for seventh graders. So not not too not too adult ultimately, or stimulating, so to speak. But I do love what I teach. I mean, I teach The Giver. That's a great book. So we have some classics we go through. I do some Edgar Allan Poe, but in terms of reading for my own pleasure, no, not too much. Unfortunately, I wish I could. I mostly find myself reading for gaming, whether it's reading rules for Warhammer, new codexes, um, reading for modules, for sure. But that's really it. I don't really think I read like I haven't read a last time I read a novel or something like that. Yeah, new D&D books coming out. I know, I know. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the new D&D books actually a little bit today. I've got some stuff to discuss, um, and let's see if I can. Nope, that's not what. Yeah, that is what I want. Here we go. New D&D. Yeah, I know it's not. It's been weird. Like 5e is, for all its faults, I do think it's overall not bad. I think we're all at the tail end of the edition, and we had the OGL scandal, and I know a lot. I know for a fact a lot of my population that watches my videos are not too keen with Wizards of the Coast, and that's fair. Totally, totally fair. I'm not too keen with the company overall, Hasbro in general, but fifth edition was genuinely a good thing. Like if you look back on all 10 years of it, it did a lot for the game, and I think it's easy to nitpick at it, but um, I had a lot of fun playing 5e, and I know it did a lot for the hobby. So it's easy to just cast it off as being, the next thing they're trying to push or peddle. But I'm interested. I mean, look, if a product is good, I will try it out. I'm going to try out the whatever this is called, 5 or 6th edition or D&D, whatever they call it. I will try it. It's gonna happen. But I just don't know how much and what capacity I will be doing it. Like, let me switch over to where is that's not what I want. Um where's my camera here? Here it is. So it's not necessarily that I like don't want to watch it or not watch it, like play the game or anything like that. I have so much time and effort sunk into 5e, and there's other games that I want to play that I'm really not like dying to play this new edition just yet. And as you can see, there's a lot of things that they put out today, even about the new edition. And I didn't want to talk about the new edition just yet, but I think we can just kind of segue into this for now. But the all the books come out at different times. Like the Monster Manual doesn't come out until the spring or something like that. I'm trying to find it right now, but um, I mean, the Player's Handbook comes out in the fall, but the other ones like the Monster Manual, or sorry, the DM's Guide comes out in like November, and then the Monster Man comes out in the spring. So it ends up being quite a long time, I think. Here it is. Okay, so this is if you want to subscribe to the D&D Beyond, where you can get the books digitally. So Monster Man is February 11th. Like, that's a long time from now. Like, it's June. So I don't know. Am I gonna play the game? I might do like a one shot of it when it first releases in September. And I know a lot of other D&D YouTubers have like advanced copies, or they're getting the information earlier. I'm not one of those special people. I've never attempted to be one to get stuff early. I could care less, to be honest with you. I mean, if I was just reviewing things, if that was my channel, I would maybe try to. But I don't, and I don't really care too much to have it earlier. The only thing I would love to have earlier is sometimes as an adventure, like when I got Rime of the Frost Maiden or Witchlight, I like would love to have had that maybe a couple weeks earlier, because then I could do my planning and then get it out there and be ready for the release. So I could start a campaign if I'm going to do that. Start it right away and ride the wave of momentum that thing has. But in terms of like the Player's Handbook, I mean, yeah, I'll probably do a one shot or something like that. But I'm not going to start a campaign. I'm not going to just use the Player's Handbook as my almost like my edition for a game. So I'm going to wait probably wait till all the three core books come out at least before I give it a fair shake. But yeah, I'll probably play a quick one shot or something like that. I think too. Godwin says it should be 5.5. I agree. I think 5.5 feels right. Everything I've seen from all the content, it doesn't feel like a full sixth edition. It feels like an update. And 3.5 was that for third edition. I feel like it kind of feels like it should be a 5.5. But I don't know what they call it here. Um, Actually, it just looks like it's D&D, right? Is that what they're just calling it? D&D? I think they're just calling it D&D now. They got rid of the D&D 1 or something that it was supposed to be, I think. But anyway, we'll talk more about the new edition at another point in this stream. Don't want to clog up the beginning here. Yes, and Christmas Island, of course, they space them out so they can make more money, more revenue. If everybody goes out and buys the Player's Handbook, great. The next one will come out, they'll all buy that. If there's options, they may not sell as much of the Monster Manual or the DM's Guide, and then it looks like they're not selling as much. I agree. But let's talk more about what I want to talk about here. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, everybody. So personal stuff, get that out of the way. End of the school year. Very happy to have some more time. The leg, the birthday. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. Thank you for being here with me on this hot night. It's so hot. I'm like sweating down here in my basement. But Yeah, so that let's talk about some things. We just had a lot of stuff go on the channel in the last few months. Uh, I think I saw Dasha in here. Dasha, if you're still here, say hello. But Dasha, Estelle, Joey, and John played through Viral, the Call of Cthulhu adventure that was modern scenario, and we absolutely loved it. If you didn't watch Viral, I'm telling you right now, if you're a D&D person, if you're like I really just watch D&D, you have to watch Viral. I mean, it's all about roleplay. Like Call of Cthulhu does such a nice job of the roleplay side of the RPG than the game side. I'm not saying better than the game side, but they do the RP side so much better, I think, than D&D when it comes to creating like real characters. There's so many more mechanics designed to like for the sanity rules, and it just fits and fits the genre so well. And Viral was hilarious. We had so much fun. I mean, I never laughed so much during a game than I did Viral. I think Dasha will attest to that. You should still watch Viral. It's really good, and it was only 9 sessions, and it's done. So you can binge watch it, everything. Um, Second thing is Curse of Strahd is coming to an end. Strahd finishes up, I want to say July 2nd. I think we're going to finish it up season 1, July 2nd. We're going to be back on next week. So this is when it would have been, but it was too tough. We had conferences, we had things going on this week. It's end of school year. Some I forget who couldn't be here, whether it was Stefano or Michelle. I don't remember. Somebody said they could. Maybe it's Tim. Couldn't be here. So we just said, with all the hecticness of end of the year, let's just pause. Let's not try to rush things. We'll do the 25th and the 2nd, and that will probably be the end of season 1 of Curse of Strahd. We're trying something new here, right? We're trying to build up more anticipation for it. Having like this mid game finale, season 1 finale, will, I think, be exciting and leave off probably on a cliffhanger, probably. But that's kind of good, right? And then it'll get people excited for the next season. Plus, it gives people a chance to catch up. One of the things I noticed, because I do like watching live plays as well, and one of the things I've noticed is if I start falling behind, it gets really hard to catch up because you got work, you got all these other things in life going on, and maybe something happened that week you didn't get a chance to listen, and now you've got hours and hours of content to do. It's just like a TV show that you fall behind on. So except these are usually longer. These are like movies every time. So I think giving people a little break. We're going to do 25 episodes. That's a pretty good season. You watch the rest of it, catch up. You have a couple months to catch up, and then around Halloween time, we will start season 2 of Curse of Strahd. So if you can't get enough of Curse of Strahd, you will have to take a little break. We'll come back in I forget which day exactly, the 20 something, but it's going to be towards the end of October, which again, very fitting for Curse of Strahd to start up again. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Stefano. Yeah, do hit the like button. And one of the things I've noticed too is, Viral, for instance. I said this at the end of Viral. It's great when Viral ends up doing well. Like some of those first few episodes really got good views, but most of the people are here for the channel for D&D updates or D&D content, Dungeons and Dragons some way. I consider Shadow Dark to be like the same because Shadow Dark was kind of like D&D. Like I think it brought a lot of people who like D&D to it. It's very similar, and it was that sort of like old school Renaissance thing. So a lot of people watched Shadow Dark. So Shadow Dark content did really well. D&D content is obviously what most people came here for. And whenever I stray away from that, I did a bunch of new games. Some of those new games did really well, and other ones did not. And I've said this before. I don't choose a game because I want it to do well, but it does definitely make the decision easier because I want to play what I want to play. But if people aren't watching it, then YouTube starts to not show the content and things like that. So I want people to see it. I think, like for instance, Viral or Merkborg or even the other Call of Cthulhu runs we've done, all those I deserve to be seen. If you're a Call of Cthulhu person, share it with people. Like those videos, comment on the videos. The algorithm wants to see people engaging with it. Even if you comment something and it's just anything really, just to say, show how much you like the episode. That goes a long way because it again gets the content out to more people. And I do think people deserve to see some of the stuff we've done here. It's great. I think, and I say this without any sort of like, I'm not bragging at all. I'm not trying to, be prideful here. Like, I really do think though that our content is, I mean, unless we're talking about something that's like produced in a studio, like Critical Role, for any of those other streamers and games out there, I think we do it just as good as them. Um, and I'll say it. A lot of it goes to my players. My players are some of the best players around. They are great role players. They get into the characters. I mean, Call of Cthulhu, the most recent Call of Cthulhu viral, those characters were insane. Great. Curse of Strahd, we're at the point now where they really are feeling these characters. They are really becoming one with them. And I think our content's as good as any other live play. Um, so definitely start to promote that as well. Try to share them if you're in groups, discords. Try to do that. Get people to see the channel. Just more so we have more people in this community that we built. Like I said, I don't really care about the numbers necessarily, but it's nice to see when people watch it. Um, it's great, and I love to have all of you in the chat. It's so nice to see. I see 30 people in the chat right now. Like, that's great. When we started this channel, we had 2 people in the chat, and one of them was me. So, um, keep that going. We're also coming up on the 4-year anniversary of this channel, if you can believe it. I always say the official start is like October. That's when Icewind Dale started, or again, the end of September. That's when Icewind Dale started. That's when Avernus was done. We finished the 8 episodes of Avernus. That's when I think the channel really started. I started to promote it, but technically August is the official channel birthday. But coming up on the 4-year mark, so pretty proud of the consistency we've had. Let's see any other chats here. Wayne, summer vacay in the Gwaindire. Hell yeah, Gwaindire. One day we're going to get to the Gwaindire, everybody. We're going to get to the Gwaindire. Wayne says, people do have a D&D preference, but your other stuff can do well because of you. When you add your own touch, it makes sense. The game is brilliant. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it as support as always. Godwin, that it's better, Bob. Yours has never felt scripted. Yeah, we do not script anything here. In fact, sometimes I wish we did, but just wouldn't be right. We don't do it. D&D, DM, I don't really watch many other. Oh, interesting. I definitely think there are some channels out there that are worth watching. I'm not sure if I've said this before on the channel, but what I really like is in terms of live plays, I really love the Glass Cannon Network. It's one of my favorite live play channels. They have a lot of content that's unfortunately behind like a paywall, but they've been doing it for a long time. Like, they started the channel, like, I feel like upwards of like 8 or 9 years ago, and so they have a big following and they do live shows. One thing I always thought about is if we get to a level where we could do that, where we'd have a live show playing at a convention or some sort of location, how that would be different than playing the way we do. I mean, I know playing at a table is very different, but to play in front of like an audience must be another real weird thing. Like, it's even playing on stream for people like you in the chat. That felt strange when you first do it. Now it feels second nature, but I think you get used to it like anything. But it must be a really weird feeling to play in front of a live audience. They do a lot of that as well. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that live plays that are really, really good. Stefano and Nate and John have always recommended the Adventure Zone to me, and I started listening to some of their podcasts as well. They're just audio though, so a little different, but really, really good. But again, like I said, I feel like we're right there. Like, I feel like we do the same in certain ways. Some ways I think we're just as good. So get the content out there, everybody. Let's keep going here. So viral, Strahd, season 1 ending, new announcements. I feel like this is what most people are here for. I did put a little. I never try to do clickbaity thumbnails, but for this one, I feel like it was probably the most clickbaity thing I've ever done. Do I have the picture that I could just switch to here. That'd be fun. Let's see. Do I have? Yeah, I do have it. So, like, here's. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Here's my. This is my title screen here. My thumbnail. Um, it kind of does look a little clickbaity, doesn't it? Right? It's like question marks. Curse of Strahd. Keep on the Borderlands reunion. It's a little clickbaity, but I try to avoid that. In all honesty, I never want. You will never. And I'm saying this now. You will never see a video where I am like, mouth wide open, like, oh my god, like, and like it's just like some title that's like obviously, trying to provoke you to click on the title. I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't, despite the fact that it might help me. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Won't do it. We did a couple of, what did we do? I tried a thing last year and I even did a poll on YouTube where people said it was like no preference, but like people were saying like rather have like a title screen where it says like keep on the Borderlands or Wild Beyond the Lichlight or whatever it is, episode whatever, instead of like our faces. I started doing it last year and I did like just a snapshot of our gameplay. Like it could be the six people, on the screen, and we tried not to do anything like silly, like we're all like shocked. Although we did it, we did. I think we did one of those where we tried to do it as a gag or spoof. But I went to more economic thumbnails where it's easier for you to see what it is. Curse of Strahd episode 1, Curse of Strahd episode 22. It's straightforward. The title has the name of the episode and stuff like that. And I think you can shout out in the chat if that's what you like, if that's what you prefer. I think that is easier for anybody to navigate. So we're sticking with that for now. But I won't be shock faced on any thumbnails coming up in the future. Let's see. A couple other things. Big announcements. Well, I already teased this one, so I can talk about it. The elephant in the room. Vecna, Eve of Ruin. So, if you have seen any Vecna content at all, whether it's a live play, whether it's a review of the module, I'm just gonna let you know right now, none of that's gonna really affect you watching this. I'm going to change up the game. I wouldn't say drastically, but like I'm making some big changes to it that I think will make it better. I think a lot of people were quick to say that the Vecna book is bad, like flat out bad, and I just don't think that's true. I think that it had a job to do. I think they made some mistakes. I think when it comes to like the plot and certain plot devices, I think they made some mistakes in terms of the flow of the adventure. And I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there's some decisions they made that just I don't think really are beneficial to the story, and they're almost made because they wanted to shoehorn some things in. And I'm not saying I'm not going to, because what I'm about to tell you is gonna get your shoehorns ready. Okay, it's gonna be big, but I think there are some things that I personally didn't like about it, but they're so fixable. And with just like thinking about it, sitting down and reading through the book and thinking about it for a couple of hours, I came to the conclusion that they're all workable. And I think that you can improve upon them. Actually, they're kind of good stepping points to improve on. So I really do feel like this book is good, and it set out to have a goal of creating this multiverse and Avengers-esque style. You've heard that word thrown around quite a bit. I've even used it, Avengers-esque adventure. And it does that. It takes characters through all the different iconic places we've gone to in 5e and beyond of D&D's history. So if you are interested in that, it's going to be a great adventure. If you want it to be like a gritty, dark, realistic, I wouldn't say Keep on the Borderlands. Our version of Keep on the Borderlands was super grounded, but it had a more small scale feel. If you're looking for something that's like a gritty, more like Game of Thrones, low magic, No, this is not the adventure for you. And that's okay. There are things for everybody. But this adventure is going to, I think, be a big thing for the channel. I told you all in the Chris Estrada reveal and then viral last week that we're going to be bringing back, we're bringing back pretty much every campaign. We're digging deep here. All right. If you are a tabletop super fan, right? If you're somebody that watched like everything we do, you're going to get the most out of this. 100%. There's going to be small callbacks to things. I mean, there's going to be things to Candlekeep Mysteries. There's going to be things to Radiant Citadel. There's going to be things to one-shots that we did. There's going to be things to, those are all one-shots, but I mean other one-shots that we've done. There are going to be characters that are brought back where you're going to be like, wait, where do I know that character from? And you're going to be like, oh my God, they went that far to bring them back. And then the big names. I mean, I'm not going to spoil a single person, but think about the bigger campaigns. Icewind Dale, Wild Beyond the Witchlight, Keep on the Borderlands. Do I want to say any more? Well, the one thing I will say is I'm already real deep into this. I got the book 2 weeks ago, and it's all I've been thinking about. And I'm going to make sure that I do every character here justice. There's not going to be, I can't guarantee they're going to live, and everything that happens in this game is going to be canon on the channel. But I can definitely certainly say that I'm going to give every character an opportunity to shine. Every mainstay on the channel, every person that's played in a regular campaign or multiple games will be coming back for this. If they can, if they want to, of course. I'm not going to force somebody to play. But I expect to have a lot of people that you'll notice on the channel. That's going to happen. We're going to have quite a few people here playing in this game. Let me see the chat here. Let's see. Interesting. The Vecna one-shot game I was in was one of my favorites. Oh, Christian here. Yeah. Okay, well, Christian, check your email. It's coming. All right, get ready. Yeah, the Don't Say Vecna. We had Don't Say Vecna on the channel almost 2 years ago, where we had 3 characters. CJ played a character, Randall played, and Christian played, and it was a 20th level adventure. You fight Vecna. It's awesome. It was a really good one. It was a long one shot. It was like 5 hours, but it was a good one. I'm going to create like, I don't know if a playlist, but I'm definitely going to create like a, something where it's like a guide where like, if you want to be, up on what's going on, you might want to check these episodes out. That's going to be one of them. The Don't Say Vecna is going to be one of them. Yeah, definitely. The DM and players make the game. I trust Bob's team with Vecna. Yeah, trust me, Greyhawk Exile. Thank you for the comment here. I promise you, I've never have prepared. Well, no, I shouldn't say never prepared more. I prepared a lot for all of my games, but I am putting in like at this early on, like pre-campaign prep, more than I've done for any game. Way more. Like double the amount of pre-campaign prep, and it's only 2 weeks in. My plan is to, once I really get every like piece into position where I want things to happen at certain points, I'm going to start the game. So I anticipate to start this summer. When? That's a little still up in the air. But as soon as I know, you're going to know. But it's going to start this summer. And now, of course, my leg and all these other things, because that's going to affect it. But, if I have to have surgery sooner than later, because we'll see how the physical therapy goes. I mean, there's probably like 2 weeks where I actually probably won't be streaming. Just going to be the result of it. But, I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know how I'll feel either. So, but I could see there being a tiny little lull in the content if that happens. And again, if I end up not having it right away and I have it later in the summer, we might see Vecna come earlier. So we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on that, but it's happening this summer. It's starting this summer, and I anticipate that it's going to go for a decent run. It's shorter than most of the fifth edition adventures, but it's still long. Like the book, I think is the actual content is like 150 pages. That's not as much as Rime of the Frost Maiden or Avernus or Curse of Strahd or but it's like probably like double the size of Spelljammer, right? Something like that. So it's definitely it's going to be a mid-sized adventure, but that's actually better because I don't want it to be so long, and we're not going to do more than we're going to do one season of it. I think it's going to be one season. If we have to go stretch it to like 30 episodes or something, we have to do that. But I want it to finish timely manner. I want it to feel like the end of fifth edition. So that's kind of like my goal. Is we're going to start it this summer and try to finish it sometime next spring, right? Over the winter we'll play and so on. But it's going to be great. And just think about the characters that are coming back. Just think about it, okay? It's like it's going to be epic. And you're going to get to see all these cool characters that you love. If you're Keep on the Borderlands fan, if you're a Supernatural 20 fan, if you're all these different groups, you're going to see them come together with different people, with different players, with different characters. It's going to be so cool. I've already got what I think to be a good final draft of the lineups and when they come in, and oh my god, I'm excited to see this. Like I'm a fan of these characters that have been created, so I'm excited too. Let's see. Let's see if my YouTube's working on my computer now, because it's kind of annoying to have to keep checking the phone. Let's see. Yeah, I would love to be able to just not use my phone. God, ads. Ridiculous. There we go. Let's see here. Some other people here. Some other comments. Jason Farrell says, grassroots DMs, I have nothing bad to say. It's a big game. Companies are so irksome. Yeah. Look, like I said, it's Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro. You got to separate them from the content creators, from the creative side of things. I mean, it is what it is, Ultimately, we want to make sure that the companies do the right thing. We hold them accountable. We all saw that during the OGL, but there are a lot of people that this is their life. This is their living, and I feel like just saying no because a company. It's like there's so many companies that do far worse for the world, and we still buy their products and things like that because out of necessity. With this, it's like it's a game, and if it's something that I'm interested in, if it makes me feel that creative itch and want to create content because of it, I'm going to do it and I'll make it my own. It's my content. Even though I'm using a module, it is my content. It's something that I'm doing, adapting, and it will be very good. Let's see, keep going here. Rest up after surgery. Thank you, Cam. Health comes first. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Like I said, most of the cases here, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to play. I'm going to be fine. I won't be a little baby about it. I'll be all right. But there just may be some lull in the content. Greyhawk Exile, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow. It's awesome. Appreciate it. Birthday fund, sympathy flowers, booze. Yeah. Appreciate that, Exile. Thank you. As always, you've been a long time follower from the beginning. Appreciate that. And then, another thing too with Curse of Vecna, Curse of Vecna, Vecna, Eve of Ruin, is it's going to be so different. It's going to be, I wouldn't say I shoehorned people in. I have a spreadsheet that I created, color coordinated it. I shouldn't say I created it. Dasha helped me create it. Thank you, Dasha. But I color coordinated it and based it on who's going to be where, and I'm really excited. I'm just started, so if you're a player, if you're like, I saw Christian in the chat before, Steve in the chat before, I saw Stefano, if you're here, don't be like, I guess I'm not invited. No, you're invited. It's happening. It's just, I'm trying to figure a few things out before I say, hey, this is what I want you to do. I want to reach out to you and be like, this is what I need from you. Can you do it? And of course, obviously, if it doesn't work for your schedule or things like that, we'll figure it out. But that's my first goal, is to just figure out what I need from you. So it's coming. Um, let's see here. Chris from Long Island. Yeah, no clue what Vecna is. Vecna is a relatively famous, I would say, maybe not as famous as a Sararak or um, some of the other D&D Hall of Famers, but a villain, famous villain from the mid '80s, but gained more fame through like more modern stuff. Honestly, even in Critical Role, they had the Hand of Vecna. Joe Manganiello's character in that campaign ends up taking it in a pretty epic way, actually. But that kind of popularized the Hand of Vecna. The Eye of Vecna has always been around, and of course, Stranger Things. So, that kind of popularized the character. Dasha, I had way too much fun making the spreadsheet. Great excuse to scroll back through the different campaigns on the channel. Yeah, Dasha's seen a lot of the content. Actually, you actually consume a lot of the content. Um, the campaigns. I mean, when I say we're digging deep, I don't mean that as like we're finding obscure things, but there are things that have happened in one shots, in Candlekeep Mysteries. Um, if you've watched the channel, you're gonna see it all. It's coming back. Um, it's gonna be your favorite characters, your favorite campaigns, Avengers style, coming together, saving the multiverse. But we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. It's not gonna be as written. So let's see. Um, Chris Malonga, so will Vecna be the Keep reunion? So each week will be different game, players, characters. Good questions. Great questions. So the Keep reunion is separate, and I'll talk about that next. But to answer the second part of your question, will it be different game, different players? So I don't want to give away too much of the structure right this moment, because I'm also still kind of deciding how I want to structure it. But I think what's going to happen is, and I want to avoid it feeling like there are main characters. And follow me with this, everybody. Follow me here, okay? Because I want to make sure this comes out as clear as can be. There are characters on this channel that everybody loves. There have been people who've posted fan art of the characters in Discord and things like that. Everyone's got their favorites. I see Wayne, will Kingsport make a comeback? He was the best. Small NPCs, minor NPCs that have made a big impact on people. A lot of them are coming back. And I'd want to do all of them. The NPCs, especially the characters that these players have made, they have to be done right. They have to be done justice. They can't be throwaways. They can't be characters that, everyone's got to have a chance to get the spotlight. And so what I've decided to do is, or structure it in a way that it won't be like a group of main characters, and then they go around. So there will be different lineups. The way the adventure is structured is it actually does take you all over the place. So there will be different portions of the game where different characters will meet others. And it may not make sense right now without you seeing like my spreadsheet and everything laid out, but it will make sense when we play the game. And it may not be the best experience for the players per se, because like they're not from start to finish playing an adventure like you would normally. They're going to be segmented a little bit, but that will be good for you, the viewer. Just like how in other movies, like just use the Avengers for example, because I know it's the easiest relatable thing that's on everybody's mind. Like Endgame for Tabletop Bob, essentially, yeah. Or Infinity War, I may even be better, because Infinity War had the groups spread out. You had Captain America, who was doing his thing. He was watching over Wanda and Vision, right, and things like that. You had Bucky and Black Panther and Wakanda. You had Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy in space. Tony going with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange to Titan, so it was like that. It was like everybody was fragmented, but then they come back together in the end, and that's how they do it in Avengers, and that's kind of what my plan is here. It'll make more sense for the viewer than it will for the players, but I think that I'm trying to get as much participation as possible. And so I don't want it to feel like main characters, so to speak. But there will definitely be characters that I'm calling catalyst characters. They're going to be the ones that like initiate perhaps certain events into motion, and that will be how it kind of goes from place to place. More to come on this later. I will definitely get back to you. Jason says Skeggy and Barrack. Are we talking about our characters we love? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, Hieronymus. Yeah. A lot of Keep on the Borderlands fans, of course. That's one of the popular ones. Right now, here's what I want you to do. Let me know the characters you really want to see back, and I mean everyone. Okay, like if you have like 5 characters that you love, and I don't just mean you could say Keep on the Borderlands, sure, or Icewind Dale, sure, but tell me the characters. If you were to like a top 3 or 5, 3 to 5 characters you want to see back, post it in there, and this could include NPCs. This could include villains. This could include pretty much anything, right? Let me know. What do you think you would want to see on the channel here? And I'm telling you, everybody's going to have a shining moment. It's going to be great. All right, so now let's go to a couple other things here. Keep reunion. That's next on the list I've got here. So I know that some people. I've teased this before. We're going to do a Keep reunion. I said this since the game ended last year in June. We're doing a Keep reunion. It's happening. But there are a couple things that threw off my timing. I actually thought I was going to start the Keep reunion right about now, and it would have been a full-blown new game. That's what I had said I wanted to do. I thought about it a little more. I didn't want to do I had a plan for the end of Keep. You know how it ends? I guess... Should I talk about this? I mean, it's not a spoiler, I guess. You had a year to see it. If you don't want to listen to it, though, just check out for a few minutes. But the end of Keep ends with a few things happening. You have Barrack and Hieronymus back at the Keep. They're taking residence in the tower, Ticario's tower. And then you have, if I'm not mistaken, Eric and Skeggy, they leave. They're going to do their own thing south. I think Skeggy might be going back to the dwarves. I may be wrong on that part, but Eric definitely is not going to hang out at the Keep. And then you have Ula coming back, and of course Sasori has joined he's the part of the guard now. So you've got most of the characters back at the Keep, and my goal was to bring them back and. There was things going on still in the caves. There's still things going on. For those of you who don't know the adventure, there's more stuff even to explore. There's the Cave of the Unknown. There's a lot of things that you can still do. So my goal was to bring them back for a short adventure and have a reunion, and it would be great, kind of continuing the story a little bit. But then I was like, do I really want to stop it just there? I think I want to go on to a brand new adventure. And so my plan was this summer to start that new adventure with them. I texted the whole group like in March, and I said, I want to do the whole thing. I want to do a real full-fledged brand new adventure, whether it's partly my creation, mixing with something else. I want to do a real adventure, fully adventure. But now things are changing. I threw in viral. I really wanted to do viral. When I started planning that, I was like, okay, it's a one shot. I'll make it 4 or 5 sessions, and now that went 9, and I knew that. I knew it was going to go more than 4 or 5 when we started, but when I first slated it in, I was like maybe 3 or 4 sessions. But then as I prepped and I planned with the group, I was like, this could be a full 10 episodes. So it ended up being longer than I had anticipated. Then Vecna was announced, and in March or April when I found out about it, and I really knew what it was about, I was like, this is going to be insane. It's going to be epic. I had to push to Keep on the Borderlands reunion back then. I knew it would have to be a little further in the summer or maybe in the fall. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can't do that. So what I'm planning on doing, and this is the announcement here, I'm going to do a short reunion like I had planned way back when we first ended the campaign. A short one. And I mean like 3 or 4 sessions. It's going to tie things up. It'll give a little closure to Keep on the Borderlands, bring the characters back, it's going to be its own little thing. Then I'm going to tie in the ending of the Keep reunion, that small 3 or 4 session Keep reunion, to Vecna. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it that's going to be like the precursor to Vecna. It's going to what's going to make sense to keep on the Borderlands characters there and everything, and it's going to set off that new campaign. So my goal is to do the keep on the Borderlands reunion, which again maybe like 3 episodes or so, give or take, depending on what they do. And that's going to be soon. That's going to be maybe like within a month. That's going to happen in July probably. And then as soon as that's done, Vecna starts. So that's my plan. Within the month we start the Keep reunion, and within 2 months we start Vecna. So let me know your thoughts now that it's out there. I'm still not announcing the full game that I want to play with them. Eventually, I am going to get to a full new adventure for the Keep. But for right now, because of all the other things going on, I'm going to do a simple, quicker reunion. Ties into Vecna. You'll see a bunch of them come back in Vecna. And then once that is done, or I have time to do more, I'll do the full Keep reunion. So yes, there will be a brand new module for the Keep. It's just not coming right now. It's going to be a short, like I said, closure to the adventure, and then Vecna, which you'll see them return, and then a full one eventually. But if I had no job and it was all I was doing was this, I would absolutely do that first. I would do a full. I would have done it already. I would have been starting that already. But realistically, for me, the max amount of games that I can play a week is 2 streams. I'm starting my Patreon game again. That's starting up soon. We're actually having our session 0. I mean, we're not starting it up again. We finished the last campaign. We're starting a new one. So that comes this week. We're doing a session 0. So Patreon campaign is back. That one has been full for a long time. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of people would love to maybe play in the adventures, but really, I don't want to open it up to like 7 or 8 people, and it's been pretty much full from the start. So I'm not going to open that any more. But stay tuned. If there's anything updates on Patreon, if we need a new player or something like that, I will post about it. But yeah, so we'll figure that out. But Patreon's going to be on Thursdays. I can really only stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You all know, I've said this before, I play gaming at my gaming club, Battle for Salvation, on Mondays. That's where I play Warhammer and things like that. So it ends up just being, it's so hard to possibly do more than that, Like I said, if it was my only job, if this was all I had to do, maybe I would do it every day of the week, right? I would have a stream every day of the week. But the family side of things, the work side, it's a lot, and I hope it never comes off. I never come off as tired or burned out on streams. I think I wouldn't say hide it. I'm not hiding it, but there are some streams where I get on here and I'm like, okay, I just got to do it, right? And I start and I play and I'm having a lot of fun. But I think most of you, when you go to work, even if you love your job, and you love things that you do, even games that you play, there are some times where you're like, it would be nice to have tonight off. But I've tried to never do that. In fact, I don't think I have. The only times I've ever taken off are if my wife is sick or I've been sick, I guess, in theory. Although I haven't missed for illness. I've come on here and blown my nose and done things like that. Mostly if my wife is sick. That's the key, because if I need to be there for the kids, then that's different. But, generally speaking, I never miss an episode because of just me not wanting to play. Doesn't happen too often, but one of the things that people ask me is how I do it all. I get that a lot from people, and the key is I don't sleep, so that's how I do it. But another thing is I don't know. I love gaming. I love it. I've never taken a break from Warhammer D&D a little different, but I started playing Warhammer 18, 19 years ago. and I haven't stopped. Like I haven't. There's never been a moment where I've been like, yeah, I'm taking a break from the game. Literally 19 years straight. I played weekly. I have not stopped. Go to tournaments, run tournaments. I do it. It like fuels me. And then gaming, D&D. The only time I took a break during D&D was fourth edition, and that's only because the players that I played with didn't want to play. Nobody was interested, and I would have played if we kept going. In fact, we kept going with 3.5 for a little bit, but then when that group fell apart, like you know how it is, most groups fall apart. We just didn't play because I didn't have players. And then 5e came out, and a lot more people wanted to play. And you all see all the people that are on my channel, like from people like Chris, who I've known forever and played with him 18 years ago, 20 years ago, to people like Estelle, who I met through the channel and everything through CJ. So that's, I've made these friends along the way, but it's been my player pool is big because of how popular Fifth Edition was. So John, Nate, Michelle, Tim, not Tim actually, he played before me. Well, I might be forgetting Christian, Dasha. That group played for the first time with me. We played Avernus. That was our first game that they've ever played. So I got them into the game, and so that's how I've cultivated these groups of players. Playing with some people at the gaming club. I played with Jeff and Steve and CJ and Kyle. I played with all of them, Steph, through the gaming club. That's how I met all of them. So these are people that I played with. So if you feel like the players are awesome, it's because we have a good rapport. We all play together for a long time. I think we trust each other. That's why we do so well. Oh, there's Dasha. Yep. There we go. Andrew as well played. I met Andrew through Warhammer, but he's become an avid D&D player because of that. James from Kansas City. You like life? How about another shovelful? Yeah, it's what it feels like sometimes, right? And sometimes you can't get your break. Really bummed about the knee, actually. Really, really bummed about that knee. I feel like I didn't really do anything. All I did was jump, and that's what I get. Oh, wow. Thank you, Wayne, for the super chat, and Jason for the super chat. Thank you. Appreciate this. Helping with the gaming addiction and the therapy fees. Appreciate it, as always, Wayne. Really, this community we built up is great. We've had such a great group. I mean, look at all of you in the chat right now. I mean, you're all here regularly. I mean, it's amazing. I feel like I've gotten to know so many of you through this channel and from the Discord, and it's great. It's great to see that we've built up a community, because that's really what it's all about. It's really about building up that community, and making this for us. That's what it is. Stefano, my first campaign was Tomb with you. Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation. He's referring to. Something I've also been thinking about putting on the channel is Tomb of Annihilation. I feel so good about Curse of Strahd. I don't know if and tell me if you can notice this. But I stressed out a lot about Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, and it was the first full campaign, and I wanted it to be perfect, and I prepared a lot, and I spent a lot of time with that book. I feel like I am so free when it comes to Curse of Strahd because I've ran it already, and I don't know if that translates. I don't know if you see the difference. If you can, I don't know. I don't think I come off like I am a little more carefree, but there were episodes of Icewind Dale where I was like, I really hope this goes well. And with Curse of Strahd, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I don't even need to reference the book as often. I'm my prep is cut in to a third of the amount of prep because I've already run the adventure before. I know generally what happens. I know what happened at that point when the other group ran it. And I really do like that. I'm kind of really interested in doing Tomb of Annihilation because I've ran that adventure, and it would be running it seeing the back of my hand. I know it. So let me know. I wonder if that's the case here. And thank you, Chris from Long Island. I appreciate you having trust in me over the Keep campaign. It will make sense, and it will be excellent, and we will have... It's actually the better, because we're going to have more Keep content. If you love Keep in the Borderlands, this is the time to be keep on the Borderlands fans, because we're gonna have their reunion, the short reunion. They're gonna be in Vecna, and then another full reunion. So like, if you love those characters and those players, they're coming back. It's happening. But yeah, appreciate it as always. Yeah, and I'm just looking at the comments right now. Dasha said, "Wayne, thank you," and she actually hadn't played any other RPGs before. Yeah, it's something that's really fantastic. It's like, I think a lot of you, especially the group that played Navernus, you've just become such great role players because you have forged your craft through the fire of online streaming. like to imagine playing for the first time and then doing it live in front of people. You only get better by doing that. Like sink or swim. It is what it is, But yeah, a couple other announcements. So I did tease also that I had a new RPG that we wanted to play, and someone in the Discord, I forget who it was now, the name, but I didn't recognize it off the top of my head. Let's see here. It was someone named, let's see. The name is like hidden. I don't know why. G. It's just listed as G. I don't know who that is, actually. Just listed as G for some reason. But they said, would I consider running a DC-20 one-shot? For those of you who don't know, DC-20 is another YouTuber called the Dungeon Coach. He's created a pretty big following for himself, like pretty massive following, where he used to do like D&D advice, GM tips, things like that. But he's now kind of created his own RPG, and it's called DC-20. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've seen the Kickstarter. It's made over $1 million, and it's still going strong. It's got like 3 weeks left. It's very popular. And the short answer to that is I don't have any intention of running it just now. But I do, I would like to run it eventually. I can't do any more Kickstarters. I can't do them. I definitely was all in on Esper's Emporium and the Monster stuff. I love Esper's work. Going to support him always. I did the what other? Shadow Dark, of course. That was a no brainer. Love Kelsey's work always. And then the other one I did was the TMNT RPG. That's going to be something I'm really excited to put on the channel at some point. But that's the Palladium Games. They're reimagining it. It's like a updated version with artwork from Eastman. He does the alternate cover. Although I'm Freddie. Oh gosh, his last name escaped me. Gosh, he does a lot of Turtles and other comic artwork. Anyway, he had a specific cover design, and I wanted that one, so I got that one. But that's coming out soon, and I'll be doing that on the channel at some point. I think it's still got a ways to go for production, but I just can't do any more Kickstarters at this point. So if I can get my hands on a copy, I know there's probably like a preview copy or a whatever. At some point when DC-20 comes out, I could see myself running it. I'm taking a little bit of a backseat on new games. Like 2023 was the year of the new game. Like we did so many new games, and it. if you ever see me burned out, it would be during that. Candlekeep Mysteries burned me out, but like I said, I never lost my desire to do it. It was a lot of work, and then of course last year all those new games. I mean, to play 7 new RPGs where you're learning them live for the first time is very stressful. And I'm trying to make sure I don't stress myself out like that this year. But I do want to play. I want to play more new games. I want to do more Call of Cthulhu. I would love to play every single new game that I did again, but that's not going to be possible. But one that I've really been interested in for a long time, and I feel like I say that a lot, is Monster of the Week. And I've had this on my back table here for a while. Many of you have probably seen it. It's been here, and it's great. I'm all in. I really love it. I think this would be great for a long-form campaign, but I definitely am not going to do that right away. I think I'm going to do a one-shot of this. That's going to be something I'm going to do this summer as well. So the summer is going to have the Keep on the Borderlands reunion. It's going to have the start of Vecna and a one-shot that might be split up into 2 for Monster of the Week. Something I'll create. It won't be like a module. It's be just a quick little little game that I designed for Monster of the Week. If you haven't played this game or any of the what do they call them? Fueled by the apocalypse, apocalypse world, like that sort of thing. Whatever that engine is, they call it. It's amazing. It's so cool. And I love Supernatural, the show, and it's heavily influenced on that. They said it's a mix of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Supernatural, and I love Supernatural. It's one of my favorite shows. I would say probably my favorite show of all time. It's up there. Supernatural fans, you know it. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see here. A couple other things here. Is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yes, the TMNT. Yeah, I missed that comment for James. Thank you. Yes, it's what it is. Jason, real life takes precedence. I understand. Yeah, it's just like I said, I would love to play everything and anything. Time is always the killer. Time. And then James, will you see me playing on any other channels? I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I'm always in contact with the DM Roundtable guys. Wally DM, Fred, those guys. I'm always seeing their invites. They're always, very very kind to me. They would love to play, but I can't always play with them because, well, for a while the Patreon game on Thursdays, it's kind of hard to commit because then every other week I'm doing that, and they usually do things on Thursdays. But every once in a while when I get a break and I will. I probably am not going to be playing on too many other channels the rest of 2024 because I just have so many grand plans for this channel, and I know Vecna is going to really take it out of me, and I don't want to spend any more time than I have to, gaming when real life stuff comes in the way. So we'll probably try to limit that, although it would be fun to play with all my other YouTuber friends, but we'll see. We'll see. If I am, I will 100% post about it and let you all know. I just realized my pink light went out. I got to get a new light or new lights in general because, it's getting stale. It's always the pink. I mean, I choose the pink, but these little junky LEDs they were good for what they were, but I need real lights. One thing at a time, right? Let's see. What else did I have to say? There was a couple of things I had to say too at the end of this all, but it's kind of like the announcements side of things. I mean, viral. Strahd ending. Strahd season 2 will be in October. D&D 5.5. That's the last thing I want to talk about. That's right. So whatever it ends up being called, 5.5 or 6th edition or whatever they call it, I'm going to try it. James, yeah, maybe that would be, or sorry, Stefano, maybe that would be the case. Maybe a DM roundtable to talk about 5.5. Maybe, yeah, that's possible. Because that would only be a chat, and that would be one day. Maybe we'll see. I'm not. I just don't want to commit. I don't want to say I'm doing something because I hate say I'm doing something, and then not do it. That's my big thing. So if I post I'm doing it, and I don't want to commit to anything just yet. But I will be doing a 5.5 adventure. That's going to come sometime in the fall when the player's handbook, going to get my hands on it. But I'm not. I don't get a pre-copy. I'm not part of that club. So, we'll see. And then of course it's just other things too. We're going to have some other content too. I do plan on posting more maps and things like that I make on the Patreon. If you haven't checked out the Patreon, I'm going to make one plug for it now. I don't really like to plug, as you know. But if you want to support the channel, there are a couple of ways that I would suggest doing it. I think the biggest one, is like I said earlier, just liking the videos. If you haven't done so already, do it. Liking a video, commenting on videos, and you're all chatting in this chat right now, the live chat. That's great. That's great. While we're streaming, that's great. But after the fact, if you can just, after a stream, just hit refresh, reload the page, you'll see you can post a comment. Great stream, or something like that. That helps the algorithm quite a bit, is what I've heard. Engagement matters. So if you engage and you comment, you you do all those things, that's going to help the channel the most. If you want to support the channel, that's what you should be doing. But if you want to support in a more direct way, there's Patreon, Ko-fi, There's a couple other things you can do, but generally speaking, that's what's good. Patreon is the reason why Patreon's great is because it gives me like a basically a budget. Like every month, um, I can like you know say, okay, I need to buy this book or I need to buy this Roll20 module. Um, I can just be like, yes, I'm doing it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be like, this is going to affect me monetarily. I can't keep buying things. I need new light, things like that. That's what it helps with. And it gives me like a monthly budget, basically. It helps because then I don't have to think about it. If the revenue that I get from ads is very minimal. Like, I don't know. I can't give you an example off the top of my head, but like, um, you know, most videos make a couple of bucks. Like, that's it. And I try to limit the ads. Actually, I would actually absolutely love your feedback on this, but I've set the ads to be one every half hour on a stream. That's it. When I this actually happened, Nate and we discovered it one day at school. We were looking at it because I had somebody comment on a video like in the fall, and it was like, wow, a lot of ads for like this. Every 3 minutes I was getting an ad, um, and I was like, that's crazy because I put YouTube suggested ads and I'm not putting ads in every 3 minutes and YouTube even says when they put ads they're trying to get limit the interruptions to the viewer. So I was like, okay, great, click that one, great, whatever. It's like I'm not going to sit there on every video and like pinpoint where I want it because it just takes time and I don't want to really do that. Plus these are long videos, like it's not like a 10-minute video where it's how to fix something or a review of a movie and then right before you hear their final verdict you put an ad there. Like that's not what happens in our stream. So I didn't want to do that. So I just said every half hour there's a stream because YouTube was putting ads like every 3, 5, 7 minutes. And even I was noticing as I would watch a playback, I was like, there's a lot of ads. And I looked, YouTube automatically put in ads everywhere. I mean, if you don't have a creator account, if you ever look in any video though, you can see like a little flag, like a little red line where the ad is inserted. And when I was doing it originally, I would put them, here, one at the start, one at the end, one in the middle. Then I let YouTube take over just doing it for me, so I didn't have to do that. And they were everywhere. So let me know if you're seeing a difference now, because if you were like, wow, there were a lot of ads before, I had no intention of doing that. It ended up being just completely YouTube taking over and doing it because I let it choose. Now I do it. I set them to be every half hour interval, and I think that's just easier. You might get one when you start a video and it ends, but mostly that's it. Anyway, yeah. And James, actually, they say now this is what YouTube says. You said you're the schmuck who pays for YouTube to avoid the ads. That's not a bad thing. I for a long time I've considered doing it too, and I think I am going to do it eventually, because it's funny enough. I'm always looking through things. I'm looking at my own content. I'm looking through, other people do reviews of modules. I'm looking through things all the time, and every time I'm doing it, I'm like, that's 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there, and it adds up. And I'm always looking back on things for my own videos, and I'm like getting ads for my own videos, and I'm not skipping them. So I might do that. And YouTube says that they actually kick back profits of YouTube Premium to creators. So it's by you skipping the ad isn't going to affect the revenue so much of a creator, which is, I'd like to think that's true and that they're not just BSing it. And if that is true, that's good. So, yep, question answered. Yep, there you go. So that's what they say. That is what they say. You can also become a member. If you notice, James has the little star next to him. D&D Moms has a star. D&D DM Mom has a star next to their name too. All the stars are for being members of the channel. And because, again, I don't want to plug too much, I made them only one. I've only made one tier. It's $1. That's it. If you do that, you get cool emojis, things like that, and you get the little star show up next to your names, show that you're important, that I care about you more than others. Of course. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, it's another way to support the channel. I know some people are like, I don't have to create a Patreon. I want to create a login. I don't have to like make a new account. You can just support the channel with the members. Yep, there they go. Look at all those. Yeah, look at all those emojis. Um, and Cam, yes, ads are better. Sometimes I get them in the middle of the live streams. Is that by design? So sort of, yes. If it were up to me, I would say no. But unless I'm going to go in and manually put all the ads in after a stream, and it just takes another couple of steps, and it sounds like it's not hard, and you should be like, Bob, just do it. If I just save my settings to be like, I'm just saying they're at every half hour interval, I never change it, and I haven't seen a difference in ad revenue. Like it's generally the same as when I plug them in. So yes, they're by design, but only because it just saves me a step. And at 11 o'clock or 11:30 at night, when I'm done with the stream, I don't have to do that extra step. You know, and yeah, it's every half hour. So it really, realistically, while you're playing, while we're watching, and while we're playing and you're watching, you might get 3 ads. You know, that's basically what it is. I apologize for them, but you know, I don't want to have to manually do them. It's kind of annoying, and I don't want to think about it either. Like I just want to be like click, go, and not have to worry about that sort of stuff. Jason Farrell, my wife loves Supernatural. Awesome. I'm a big fan. I would love to go to one of those conventions one day because it's seems like such a fun group. A very very passionate fan base. Love Supernatural. Um, let's see here. Last couple things. Let's see. Anybody else have something here? Oh yeah, the Patreon. As somebody said, are you opening up more Patreon member spots? So with the live play one, the one where we play a game every other week, it's kind of like the same thing I would do on the channel, um, except we don't stream it. But it's very hard to like. I don't want to be like, yeah, to make, because I want to make more money or something like that. Be like, yeah, I'll take 8 players because if I did, then I would make a lot more money. I think D&D is designed for 4 players. Personally, that's what I think. I think D&D is designed for 4. I think it works fine with 5. It certainly can work with 3. In fact, I think I might lean towards the 3 more than 5. Like 4 is ideal, but 3 is great, and 5 is also fine, totally fine. 3 to 5 is great. You start to jump to 6, it ends up being harder to manage. People get less screen time, and I don't, I want to, I don't really want to go to 6 with the Patreon game. You know, I would like to avoid that. But if another spot opens for any reason, I certainly would consider opening it up. James from KC, thank you. Because James is on the Patreon that level. You'd be willing to sit one out to bring someone in? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe like I said, maybe for like an arc or something like that. It wouldn't be the full time or just even a one shot or something like that. You're right. Maybe I should try that. That might be maybe even better. Just offering a tier where we do a one shot once in a while. Maybe. Again, for me, it's all about time. You know, it's all about time. If I can do that, if I can manage, and it doesn't end up being too much on everything, yeah, I would do that. There are a couple other tiers that you can sign up at. Like you can do the base one, which is just $2, and that's basically you get your name on the scroll at the end. You can also get what was it, the $3, which gives you the maps. There's can I look at it? Let me see if I can look at it. My view is a little different than people's, but I think I might be able to look at it. Yeah, I can look at it as if I'm a... Oh, and of course, my internet is not great right now. It's not loading the page. So, we'll see. Joseph, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yep. In an hour and a half, it'll be my 37th birthday. So we're going to wrap things up here. But I'm so excited, everybody. I feel like a broken record. I say this like every day, every year that I'm streaming, whatever it is. I say the same thing, but like I am so excited for what's going on here. Like I told you, like when I commit to something, I commit. 4 years on the channel coming up. I feel as strong about the channel as I did from day one. Um, I have no intention of stopping. I mean, we've been consistently putting out content every single week, pretty much for 4 years. I'm proud of that. Proud of my players for making commitments to this and helping grow this community. I wish I could do more for them. If that was possible, I would love to do more for them. But they help out quite a bit, and a lot of the kudos goes to them. We are having a tabletop barbecue again. We're making the third annual barbecue, so we will have a way for me to say thanks to my players, inviting them to my house and getting them to eat and drink and have some fun, play some games. We'll be doing some lives. I think I think I actually missed doing just a regular live like this. I want to do that. Have some of the players here by the computer, but we'll do a Facebook lives as well. We'll maybe do a Discord thing. We'll be doing that, so that's going to be fun. We're going to be doing that. That's July 9th. Let me just check. Yeah, July 9th, we'll be doing that. It's a Tuesday, so we won't be... That's after Curse of Strahd ends, so we'll be doing it the week after that. Very excited to see all the people in real life. I mean, some of them I see every day because I work with them, but most of them, even for instance, like CJ. Like, I haven't seen CJ in quite some time. He moved to not too far away, but during last couple of years he moved. So I don't see him on a weekly basis at the gaming club anymore. But we'll love to see CJ. My cousin Joey. All the fact that he's a family member, I still don't see him all that often. He lives in the far off land of Brooklyn, so it's a little too long of a drive for me. But I'm going to see everybody. And we'll be taking pictures. We'll be posting on social media. So check out links in the description for all that if you want to keep up with that. And then everything. I mean, it's coming, everybody. Strahd Season 2, Strahd ending, and then Season 2, Keep Reunion, Vecna. There's going to be a lot of content. So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell icon. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Do it all. Do it all, everybody. And thank you to everyone with the super chats tonight. Joseph, appreciate it as always. Want to make sure I missed anybody. Jason, Wayne, Greyhawk Exile, always great to see you. And then thanks to the players who were in here tonight. I saw Andrew, I saw Steve, I saw Dasha, Christian. Who else did I miss here? Stefano. We had Godwin in the house tonight. D&D, DM Mom. Some other people actually some people I don't know in here, or at least haven't recognized as often. Good to see you, the new people. James from Kansas City. Wayne, of course. Cam, good to see you. Jason, I said already, but thank you again. Yeah, great stream here, everybody. More to come for sure, and post in the comments after this. Here's what I want you to do. What are you most excited about? Comment that down below. If you're talking about Vecna, who do you want to see back? What combinations of people do you want to see? That's what I want to know in the comments. So it's more pointed here. What are you excited about? And with Vecna, particularly, which combinations of players do you want to see? That's what I want to hear. Until then, we'll see you on the tabletop. Have a great night, everybody.